Hey guys and gals, welcome to this week's pre-foreclosure daily grind tip of the week. Chris the Drummer Bowles, Bob LaChance. Hopefully everyone's had a great week. Here in the Northeast, we got blasted by about 2 feet in Connecticut of snow.
Good things.
So we were digging out all yesterday. But anyway, we got some great tips for you guys this week. Before we get into that, Finer Solution. That's our online management tool that we actually use to manage our business, our small business, is online. There's a whole free version of it, and it's in beta right now, so check it out, finersolution.com. We got 4 tips right now. One of them, okay, is going to be about the Equator system. There's been a little upgrade Chris is going to talk about in a minute. It's going to help you guys out a lot. Number 2, we're going to talk about multiple offer scenarios, or submitting, multiple offers on a short sale property. What to do, what not to do. We were on the phone this morning with one of our coaching students, and again, we'll dig into that in a minute, but there's some good things not to do in reference to that. We're also going to go over a postponement that Chris got this morning. Fantastic. He's going to tell you a little bit about that on a deal. And also, another important thing, how deals change from deal to deal, and we're going to get into that a little bit more, but very, very, very powerful thing. So Chris, let's talk a little bit about Equator.
It's nice they've made the process of, because obviously most of us going through the settlement process are probably going to need at some point in time an extension on the written approval letters we get from B of A. What they've done now is they've added a task into Equator after you receive obviously the approval letter, and the task is basically is closing on schedule. Now obviously if you say yes to that, then everything continues on as planned. However, if you answer no to that task, then what will happen is the closing officer or the Phase 3 negotiator will request if there's any kind of a change to the offer, or like numbers on the HUD or anything like that, and that would be when you'd submit over a HUD, or just simply just say, if no numbers have changed but the closing date has, just say here's what the new closing date will be, and then that's kind of your in for the negotiator to go ahead and ask for that extension. So they've kind of simplified that part of the process. And
they're actually giving extensions, which is pretty cool. They're not just closing you off right away.
Right.
So that's really cool. Next tip we're going to talk about, multiple offers, I should say, multiple contracts submitting. When you guys are submitting, whether you're an agent, third-party loss mitigator, or investor submitting a short sale offer, make sure you do not submit like 10 contracts at one time. Don't do that. We were just talking to one of our mastery students this morning and going over the process, and he's actually looking to submit an offer, and a new agent was listing the property, and the agent was stating to them that, hey, it doesn't matter if we submit your offer, and it's signed by my client, and I get another offer, I'm going to submit it to the bank. That's a no-no. Lenders, banks, I should say, they're synonymous, only will be looking at one offer, period. You got one offer and one HUD-1 settlement statement or net sheet. Okay, when they submit an offer up to the investor who actually owns that money, they can only look at one offer. They're not going to be reviewing 10 or 15 of them. Chris, if they get 10 offers on one short sale package, what are they going to do with the package?
They're going to throw it out.
They're going to throw it out.
If you're lucky, they'll call you and say, what is this?
Yeah, you got to pick one, because you can only have one HUD-1 settlement statement. You can't submit 10 of them with 10 HUD-1 settlement statements in it. It just doesn't work that way. Okay? One offer, period. If the offer doesn't get accepted, guess what? Then you get a backup offer and you submit that one. Okay, that's the bottom line. Just do not do that. Not only that, is you can only have one signed purchase and sale agreement. Until the bank says no, you can't sign 4 or 5 of them. You just can't do that.
Right.
So anyway,
you'll have some contracts that have a contingency, some sort of a contingency in them that obviously is like an escape clause or something like that. When we're talking about short sales, that would be the subject to lien holder approval, condition or contingency. And obviously, if there's an executed contract in play and the bank declines it, then there you go. Now that's it's meeting that condition, so everybody's released, and now you can look at another contract. Right. But otherwise, it's going to be just like if there's equity in the house and the seller's got 12 offers, they're only going to pick one of them. Yeah. So.
And just so you guys know, there's a lot of confusion out there in the industry. They'll only accept one offer. They're not going to accept, they're not going to accept 10 different contracts at one time. It just doesn't work that way. It is what it is. Third one, we're going to talk about when an offer changes, or actually the deal changes Chris, you could talk a little bit about this, how deals change from different steps in the process. And
Yeah, definitely. We've talked obviously in previous videos about the importance of educating and just setting expectations with the agents you're working with and other parties that you're involved with in a short sale. And just to follow up on those previous tips that we've given, another thing you always want to make sure of, I do this religiously in our office here, is to explain to the agents or explain to whoever that if an offer is on the brink of getting approved and with the current terms and the buyer has any chance at all to be able to close, I always tell them, do everything you can to get this thing to close now, since now that we've got everything wrapped up and everything organized and squared away, because if you don't and we have to resubmit and restart all over again, chances are that the terms that you have on those approval letters may not be the same the next time around. For example, first mortgage. Let's say we go to submit a new offer to a first mortgage. They're going to order another BPO appraisal.
Yep.
Guess what? That value may not come in at the same number it did the first time. It may come in higher. We've had that happen. Now, an offer that was previously approved is not going to be acceptable anymore.
So so basically, don't promise that. You see this on the MLS sometimes. Short sale approved.
Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, right. I mean, you don't want to do that, but it's even just to let the agents know. Just say, guys, if this thing doesn't close and it gets declined, or for whatever reason it doesn't happen,
don't promise anything.
We could be screwed on this thing. We need to make sure that we do everything we can.
A loan could get sold. A different investor may own it. They may have different guidelines. Certain things like that. So that's cool. That's a good tip, Chris. Yeah. Finally, postponement this morning. Talk a little bit about. We're running out of time, so let's talk a little bit about that.
We had a property that basically talked to the negotiator yesterday. He said it was going to the bank today. Today was the foreclosure date. Due to a glitch in paperwork, I guess with their attorney, the foreclosing lender's attorney, they had to make sure everything was kosher.
Robo-signer. Was it the robo-signer? Or what?
Might have been, could have been. To make sure everything was kosher and good, moving forwards, they had to give the foreclosure, give it an extra month to make sure all the paperwork was in order. So
good stuff. Good stuff.
We like that.
Cool. But anyway, that's Chris the Drummer Bowes. Bob, a chance to this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week.